Don't do it. Do not drop in these 5 locations unless you enjoy running around not seeing anybody and just holding a gun in your hand. Then you're all good to go. My name is Fury SFX, and I'm about to show you the 5 worst drop locations in Caldera. So before we begin, just like my 5 hottest drop locations, how did I come up with the 5 worst ones? Well, I compared to the old map's worst drop locations, and I counted all points of interest in Call of Duty's new tweet about the Caldera map. So let's get into it. All right, so starting off at number 1 of the worst drop locations would most undoubtedly be Runway. This is in the northern eastern part of Caldera, and there are only 6 points of interest. This has the least amount of points of interest. They're all spread out, and there's nothing really next to Runway. So if you want a really slow drop and nobody to be around you, and hopefully your chance of winning are going to be good from just doing that, then drop there. Have some fun, because you're not going to be doing anything else. Now, number 2 is on the opposite side of Caldera in the southern western coast, and it is Lagoon. A lot of water. Soldiers hate water. I know you can crouch in it and you can be cold-blooded or whatever else. By the way, if you want to look at some of those tips of all the new changes coming to Warzone, be sure to click the link above. It's up there somewhere. Be sure to click it. This whole lagoon, it is next to fields, which is going to be one of the hot drops, but it has some type of grassy hill or something blocking it from being able to merge completely with that. And so for that reason, and for it only having 7 points of interest, it is one of the worst drop locations inside of Caldera right now. And number 3 is going to be the ruins, or ruins, however you want to say it. It's a very long location, and it only has 12 points of interest. There's a lot of greenery around, so it doesn't seem that there's any really central hot spots, and they're all spread out pretty evenly around, and there's nothing really else around ruins. So once again, you can drop there. It's probably not going to be as bad as Runway or Lagoon, but it's definitely in the top 3 in my opinion. And if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button for me and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the latest intel, tactics, loadout, whatever it is about Caldera. I'm covering it and you don't want to miss it. Okay, so number 4 is mines. This area is humongous. It's probably one of the biggest named locations inside of Caldera itself. It's in the northwestern kind of middle of Caldera, and it only has 15 points of interest, which are spread evenly throughout of it. There's a lot of greenery, so I'd imagine there's a lot of hills, a lot of caves, so there's a lot of probably corners and stuff and line of vision that you probably won't have. And honestly, I would probably compare this to like military base, but more spread out. If you remember military base, it only has like one little central area and then just like a lot of bullshit around it. I would almost think that's kind of how mines is, just more spread out. So that's why it's number 4 on the list for the worst drop locations. And last but certainly not least would probably have to be Peak. Yes, I know Peak was supposed to be one of the hot drops. A lot of people are interested in going here, but I think all that hype is going to die off within the first week or 2 weeks of the Caldera map. Just kind of how like downtown was really super hyped and then it kind of died off. I think that's what's going to happen at Peak. And the reason being is it only has 13 points of interest, which are spread throughout the whole area of it. It's not like it's just on one little spot. It's all over. It is spread out, and there's nothing else around Peak. Yes, you might be able to fly in or take in a trolley or something, but guess what? You're sitting duck whenever you do that. So that's why I think it's probably in the top 5 of worst drop locations for Caldera. And those are my top 5 worst drop locations for the new Warzone map. If you want to see the 5 hottest drop locations, be sure to hit that link above for the 5 hottest drops. Be sure to hit that like button, share with a friend. It means a lot to me. And definitely smash the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the latest intel, loadouts, drops, anything to do with Warzone Caldera. I'm going to be covering it, and you're going to want to know the latest so you can get that big W for your team.